What's going on, guys? Back to the countdown today. Coming in at number 10, the last of the double digits, is Freddy versus Jason. A lot of my complaints about this movie are complaints I've heard over and over again from other people. Really weak characters. There's a lot of weak characters in this movie. The CGI looks really bad at a lot of points. A lot of every time someone gets hit, they go flying. Not a big fan of that. A lot of slow motion stuff they do. My biggest problem with the movie, however, is Jason is scared of water in this movie. He comes out of the lake in every single Friday the 13th movie. You can't just come here and say, hey, he's scared of water now. What? No, he's not. He's in the water in every damn movie. What I do like about the movie, it's Freddy and Jason in the same movie. I've wanted this since I first watched those movies. When I heard this movie was coming out, I was so excited. We waited 10 years from Jason Goes to Hell. Like I said, I'm not kidding. When I seen that glove come up and grab Jason's mask, I probably annoyed every person that was around me in my family for the next 2 months talking about that. I love Trey's death just because he's a dick in the movie. And how he dies, with the machete and then folding the bed up. Like, fuck that guy. I hated that guy, and I was so glad that he died. Jason's head twist, when he twists the dude's head all the way around, it's fucking awesome. I love the fire stunt in the cornfield. That looks really cool. I love the brother in the bathtub when it's Freddy, but you think it's the brother. And I like the plot in the movie. How Freddy's too weak, so he's got to get Jason to come in and bring the fear back. But then you can't shut Jason off. I love the plot of that. It's a good idea. It's better than how it could have been. I've heard rumors that one of the stories was they were going to start doing kills to see who could impress the devil the most. And that would have been lame as fuck. I like what they did with it. And every Jason and Freddy fight, their fights were awesome. They were great. So that's this movie. Again, it's top 10. I think it's very entertaining. I watched it in the theater twice. I love this movie. I'll defend it till I fucking die. So, Freddy vs. Jason, number 10. I'll see you tomorrow for number 9. What's going on, guys? Back to the countdown. Today we are at number 9, which is going to get me killed by any Halloween fans, but it is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Most well known as the worst one in the series to a lot of people, right? Either behind or above Resurrection. The reason this movie, to me, is so special is this was the only Halloween movie I watched growing up. From the time I was 5 till about 10, this was the only thing I knew of Michael Myers. So I think that's why I like this movie so much. Going back and rewatching it now, I see why people rank it so low, but I think I just have a special memory of watching it with my mom, my cousins. The negatives of this movie, it did ruin Part 4's ending. I thought Part 4 had a good ending, and then this one, he sleeps for a year in some dude's little shack, and then he just wakes up and kills the guy. Wasn't a big fan of that. A funny thing that I hear about a lot is, and watch the movie, this is not a joke, when it shows the cops for the first time and they're walking down the stairs, it plays like clown music, like a ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Like, this is a Halloween movie, man. It's not supposed to be funny like that. It's just that there's a difference between being humorous and goofy and just being flat out over the top. It's Three Stooge level, which is fine. I like slapstick, but in a Halloween movie, not so much. This is another one with Michael's mask. Looks ridiculous. At some parts, it almost looks like he's an alien. And this starts the whole cult Man in Black storyline that everybody that knows me knows I think is the worst storyline. I hate that storyline. Now, Danielle Harris. She is amazing in this movie. I love, and the fact that this little girl plays a mute the way she does was great. I do like the boyfriend getting the rake in the face. I did always like that. Little Billy's great. Dr. Loomis is great. The garbage chute scene, something everybody always talks about. Very dangerous scene. They used a real knife when they were stabbing through, and Danielle Harris was in there. Something I recently learned watching the special features. Very dangerous scene to film, and Danielle Harris did it like a champ. But this movie also has Tina. So, number 9, Revenge of Michael Myers. See you tomorrow for number 8. What's going on, guys? Back to the countdown. Number 8 today is Wes Craven's New Nightmare. This is a movie that growing up, I really, really enjoyed a lot. And rewatching, I enjoyed just as much. I had a lot of fun with it. I like how they brought Heather back, Nancy. And they made it so that this movie was taking place in real life. So it was almost like a movie in a movie. I really like that idea in a Freddy movie. And Robert Englund, seeing him on the late night show when he's, as Freddy Krueger dancing around trying to get a sequel to come back. I do like how they redid the I'm Your Boyfriend Now scene, like update on that. And Julie, how you can actually see this time Freddy pulling her across the ceiling and pulling her up and down the wall when she's in the hospital. And we see her death, and it's gruesome, but we can see Freddy. It goes back and forth. So, like, in the first movie, you never see Freddy. You just see Tina going up the walls. But in this one, you see Julie, and she's actually getting killed. And you can see Freddy doing it as well. It was pretty cool. And I like how they brought back a lot of the characters from the past movies, not as their characters, but as their real-life people. I thought that was also a pretty cool idea. Now, what I don't like about this movie is the darker Freddy. He's a demon in this movie. He's not Freddy Krueger. He's a demon, dream demon. I don't like the corny army of Freddys when they're running and Freddy in the clouds. That scene, I don't know, that scene just looks really bad to me. I don't like that they killed the dinosaur. He was just trying to protect him. Didn't have to kill the dinosaur. There's only 5 kills in the movie, and not much. But what it lacks in kills, Wes Craven made up for in character development, storyline, and just the surprise characters in it, all the real life. It's fun to go through this movie and watch all the producers that are in it, the actors that are in it, the actresses that are in it, the director, Wes Craven's in it, and watching them in real time. The biggest thing I don't like about this movie, though, Freddy, the demon Freddy, is killed by fire. That just doesn't make sense to me. That's like Aquaman getting drowned. So, number 8's Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Great movie. I'll see you tomorrow for number 7. What's going on, guys? My daughter's back once again to give us the intro to this one.
What's up, guys? Number 7 is Friday for the final chapter.
Good job. Yep, coming in at number 7 is Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. Again, I'm really grasping at straws here to find what I don't like about the movies from here on, and this is a big proponent of that because I love everything about this movie. So if I had to pick, I'd say that there is way too much sexual nature in this movie, and the dialogue, the whole dead fuck angle. Am I a dead fuck? And then yep, you're a dead fuck. Didn't like that. When Jason's dead hand comes and touches him, and he's like, Jesus, Jesus, oh God, Jesus, Jesus. Didn't like that. It was just, it just seemed ridiculous to me. And then the death scene in the basement. He's killing me. He's killing me. Well, thankfully you told us because we would have never known that he was killing you. Positives about this movie. Great story. I love Corey Feldman as Tommy Jarvis. Axel's throat slit and head spin is a great kill. The knife through the neck just looks awesome. Crispin Glover. Everybody that knows me knows I love horror movies, but my favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future. So Crispin Glover, I got a soft spot for him. He's my density. He's got those dance moves in this movie. And then he takes the cleaver to the face. Love it. Love it. I hated seeing my man go, but it was nice to know that he went out not a dead fuck. The double mint twin Tina thrown out the window onto the car with the windows exploding. Huge scene. Everybody that knows Jason knows that scene. And this is one of the few movies where I love Jason's death. Tommy Jarvis just getting him with the machete, and he's screaming, and he had already shaved his head to kind of get to Jason's mind, and just machetes the shit out of him. So up until fairly recently, I could always say this was I think this is the best Friday the 13th movie. Not my favorite, obviously, but it is the best to me. When you wrap it all up in a story, this is the best one. So, number 7, Friday the 13th, Part 4. Not my favorite, but in my opinion, the best of the Friday the 13th series. What's going on, guys? Coming in today at number 6 is Halloween H2O. Halloween 7. I'm going to start off right now with what I don't like about this movie. As you already know, in Halloween Resurrection, they say that Michael Myers was not in the mask when his head was cut off at the end. It was a paramedic that he had switched clothes with. However, if that was a paramedic, you're going to tell me that a paramedic did this?
Come on, get up.
I don't buy it. I believe this was supposed to be the end of Michael Myers, but the movie did so well. They made a lot of money. They wanted to make more, so they pooped out a sequel. That's exactly what it was. Poop. And it was so bad that it ruins the ending to a great movie, this one. But, like I said, great movie. The Scream influence on this movie cannot be overstated. I mean, they're watching Scream 2 in it. So it shows you that they're regular teens. They know about horror. It's not like in the past where they try to hide that they're in a horror movie. They know that what the horror genre is, and they're just like you and me, what Scream did for us. I love that. The cast is great in it as well. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Angels in the Outfield, taking an ice skate right to the face. That's awesome. I love that scene where she spins him with just the ice skate in the face. That's great. Ronnie, LL Cool J, as much as I didn't like Busta Rhymes in Resurrection, is how much I like Ronnie, LL Cool J, in this one. He's genuinely funny. You feel for him. He's a good dude. He's trying to help his friends. I love him in this movie. Great actor for the part, too. He killed it, knocked it out of the park. The bathroom scene with the mom and the daughter, you feel the anxiety and the fear in that scene. Like when the daughter starts screaming and the mom busts in, it's just she had a spider in her hair. I love that whole sequence of events and the anxiety you feel throughout that. And Laurie and Michael in the window. I know that everybody knows that scene, but I love that scene. It's just the power you feel when she sees him again. So, number 6, Halloween H2O. Thanks for watching. What's going on, guys? Back to the countdown. Number 5 is Halloween 2018. What I did not like about this movie, everybody wanted Michael to talk, and it started to drive me fucking nuts. He's not going to talk. Let it go. Cameron, the boyfriend, is a douchebag. What sucks about that is if you watch the deleted scenes on the Blu-ray or the DVD, there is a scene where he actually kind of redeems himself. It sucks he didn't make the cut of the film, but I strongly recommend picking up the DVD or the Blu-ray, watch the deleted scenes, and watch how he kind of redeems himself there. And Dr. Sartain, when he gets down and he comes up and he has Michael's mask on, I wanted to leave the theater. Luckily, my wife is much smarter than me and made me stick around because this movie's amazing. While we're on Dr. Sartain, I do like that twist, how he is doing all this for Michael. I thought that was a really cool twist. I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect a twist really in a Halloween movie, so that really impressed me. I like that they got rid of everything. This is Halloween 2, really. They erased everything. They're not brother and sister anymore. She didn't have Jamie as a daughter. She didn't have her kid from Halloween H2O. I like how they got rid of all that. I think this Michael's badass. He's in his 60s and still doing what he's doing. I think the Rob Zombie Halloween's probably the scariest, most, like, the darkest one. But I think this one's just a badass just because, like I said, he's in his 60s just wrecking shit. So, love that. I like I said, I like the Dr. Sartain twist. I love Mike's mask in this movie. I think this is my favorite mask he's ever had. It just looks aged and great. I love when Allison looks out the window at school and she sees Laurie, that throwback to the first one. Speaking of which, Laurie is just a badass. We all know that. Laurie Strode goes ham in this movie, and it is a blast to watch. When Michael killed the kid, kind of blew my mind. Didn't see that one coming at all. The tooth drop in the bathroom, I love that scene. It's just so disgusting and awesome. The kid actor that played Julian improvised most of his lines. That kid is fucking gold. I can't wait to see him in more films in the future because he did a great job. I love the motion light scene where he ends up getting stabbed and impaled through the chin. And most of all, Karen fake out when she's crying in the basement. I can't do it. Gotcha. Boom. Fucking amazing. I loved it. So number 5, Halloween 2018. What's going on, guys? Back to the countdown today. We are at number 4, which is Friday the 13th, the remake. I absolutely love this movie. It is genuinely scary. Jason is a genuine badass in this movie. This is the scariest Jason, hands down. I mean, the first 30 minutes of the film are fucking terrifying. The sleeping bag over the fire, that's a brutal, brutal kill. Something I've always loved about Jason is ingenuity when it comes to killing people. He's not just stab, stab, stab. He's awesome when it comes to the kills, especially in this movie. And I think this is the scariest he's ever been. I like how you get the Pamela Voorhees kill. So this is kind of a reboot of Friday the 13th 1 and 2 mixed together, which is really cool. I really, really enjoy Chewie and Lawrence. While we're talking about Jason and how scary he is, he actually set a trap with Lawrence. He sets him out as bait to bring the other people in. So not something you're used to seeing from Jason on the scary part of Jason. And he'll shoot bow and arrow and kill you, which was a great kill. He'll run after you. Jason's very smart. He's a survivalist in this movie. Chewie Chewie and Lawrence, back to them. I love when Chewie's out in the garage and he's playing with the hockey stick and he turns around and sees Jason. He's like, I think this belongs to you. That was genuinely funny. I really had a belly laugh when I watched that part. Very violent movie. Jason's death was awesome. One of my favorite kills of any of the big three movies. I love Jason's death in this movie. But that's not saying there wasn't stuff to dislike. Way too much sex and nudity. You all know how I feel about that if you've been watching the countdown. Trent, Chelsea, and Bree and Nolan are just terrible characters. Couldn't stand any of them. Jenna's death shocked the shit out of me. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative, but I honestly didn't see that coming at all. And I don't like the shock ending they have. The typical Jason jumping out of the water. It happens in every fucking Friday the 13th movie. So they could have did something a little inventive with this one. But, again, grasping at straws. This movie is intense. I went into it not expecting anything, knowing that it was a remake or a reboot. And I'm not a huge fan of them. But they nailed it with this one. And they did a great job. So number 4, Friday the 13th, the remake. I'll see you guys tomorrow. What's going on, guys? Top 3 time. Number 3 for me, a movie I have not seen ranked above 25 on any other list, is Friday the 13th 3 in 3D. Biggest complaint you hear about this movie, there's a lot of overacting. It's super cliche. It's Friday the 13th 3. That's actually what I love about it. I love how corny it is, because that's what they were really going for in this movie. However, the number 1 biggest complaint, all of this, everything's coming at you, the yo-yo, everything. Get you a pair of these bad boys. Looks even better. The Friday the 13th 3D glasses. What I love about this movie, Jason gets his hockey mask in this movie. It's an awesome scene. He gets it from Shelley, who is honestly, in my opinion, the funniest funny guy, the nerd, the dork out of any of the movies. The prankster, I think he's awesome at it. I love the pitchfork deaths in the barn and the harpoon in the eye. When Jason shoots the harpoon right through the eye, it's fucking awesome, especially with these bad boys on. Jason kills Andy when he's doing the handstand right down through his body, and later you see him up in the rafters and he's split in half. Looks fucking awesome. And Jason actually looks decent without his mask in this movie. When they do have the mask off at the end, he doesn't look bad. He doesn't look over-the-top comical like he does towards the end of the series. So let's be honest, the main reason I like it, this is the first ever of any big three movies that I watched. Was not in 3D, unfortunately. But growing up, this was the one that I seen first. It's the one that stuck with me the most. I remember the most about this movie. So that's the main reason it's up so high. Not because of the 3D or anything like that. It's just growing up, this was my introduction really into the big three. And I wouldn't change it for anything. I love this movie because of it. It has a very big spot in my heart. Me and my mom, rest in peace, used to watch this movie together all the time. And we'd laugh and we'd be scared. And so it's very sentimental to me. But Friday the 13th Part 3 is my third favorite on the big three. And I will see you guys tomorrow for number 2. What's going on, guys? Back to the countdown. We are at number 2. It is my second favorite, but I think it is the most iconic movie in horror cinema, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's start with some of the iconic scenes. I mean, for one, it's the introduction of Freddy Krueger. For two, you got Freddy walking down the alley with his hand stretched out, touching the wall. You got Johnny Depp's waterbed scene. You got This Is God. You got him coming through the wall. I'm your boyfriend now. And his fucking faces the receiver, licking Nancy when she's on the phone. And you got Tina's death when she's getting drug up the wall, the blood, and Rod's reaching for her. Everybody knows those scenes. While we're talking about Rod, he talks about how he woke up with a heart-on with Tina's name on it. And Tina says, I got 4 letters in my name. How could that fit on your joint? It's genuinely funny every time I watch it. Lynn Shay, who plays Elise Rainier in the Insidious series, is the teacher in this movie. And I didn't realize that till just recently when I rewatched it. I was like, hey, I know her. That's awesome. So to me, this is one of the most iconic in all of horror cinema. The cons to this movie, and it's a fucking huge one. It's the only one I can find. But that fucking ending. I hate that ending. I hate that ending so much. How the blow-up doll, and it is a blow-up doll, gets drugged through the window. It looks terrible. It is the worst. I can't stand it. Every time I watch it, I get physically angry. I don't even know what they were trying to accomplish. Like, is Freddy the car? Or is Freddy inside with the mom? Like, again, that's what really drags it down to me, honestly. I think this is the best of the best when it comes to these movies. It's my second favorite. for personal reasons, but this is the cream of the crop. The only negative I have is that ending. I just can't stand it. All the friends are back alive. Freddy's the car, but he's also in the house, dragging in a blow-up doll mom. I can't stand this ending, and I sound like a broken record. I get that, and I'm sorry, but fantastic movie with the worst ending that brings it down. So, again, the most iconic and the best of the series, A Nightmare on Elm Street. What's going on, guys? We're finally there. Number one, you know what it is if you've been paying attention at all. Number one is A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Again, these are my favorites, not the best. This is not the best by any stretch of the imagination. Cons to this. Recasting Patricia Arquette, not a big fan. I know that there was reasons why they did it. Allison Rick's dad's a fucking douche. Wish he would have died in the movie. In the end, Freddy seeing himself in the mirror and the souls killing him, I hated it. However, I can't tell you how many times my cousin and I said this as a kid. I'm not kidding. Me and Josh drove my family nuts with that growing up. We still say it to each other to this day, and I'm not kidding. What I do like about this movie, even now, I like a lot of the deaths in the movie. The cockroach motel, sucking face with Sheila and sucking the air literally right out of her. Joey, when he's inside the waterbed and his mom finds him, I thought that was a cool take on the first one. You know, they didn't repeat the death, but they paid homage to it, I thought. I do like the fact that they killed off Kristen. You killed off the final girl from the last one because you have a lot of faith in this final girl. And I liked Alice. I liked how she took the reins. I liked how she took her friend's abilities. I know it's kind of far-fetched, but I did like it. It was a fun movie to watch. In my rewatching, I realized that it's not as great as I remember it being. It's not a fantastic movie, but it is my favorite just because of personal memory. And I could probably quote the whole movie line for line. Out of all the big three movies, I watched this one more than probably all the rest combined growing up. Sometimes we'd watch it 2 or 3 times a day. So my number one, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. I had a lot of fun making it. Starting a YouTube channel. It's going to be called Ken's Horror. Just doing a bunch of different horror reviews and horror countdowns and things like that. So if you're into horror, check it out when it's done. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, thank you for watching. And hope you guys enjoyed it. One thing to leave you with, in A Nightmare 4, you get Freddy on a beach. Jaws Freddy. So, have a good night, guys. What's going on, guys? Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching my 31 on 31. I really did have a great time making it. If you have your list, post a video. Put yours in the comments. I'd love to read how you feel about these movies. Some shout outs this week. Chris Castellani, good friend of mine here on YouTube. I'm going to put his link in the description. He also does movie reviews, so make sure you go and check him out. Throw a subscribe his way as well. Again, I can't say it enough. Thank you guys for sticking through this whole video and watching it. And please let me know what you think and let me hear your list. Thank you.